Hello everyone. So lesson number 7 is about understanding backlogs. What is backlog? It's the beginning of understanding agile planning. What we are going to cover in this lesson, it's a short one. We'll talk about three concepts, which is product roadmap, concepts or terms, product roadmap, product backlog, and sprint or iteration backlog. So let's get started. First of all, product roadmap. Like in traditional project management, you have a goal statement and some high level objectives of your project. That is what roadmap is in Agile. So it's a high level strategic plan created by product owner. It's very important to understand that the product roadmap is created by the product owner, not alone but in collaboration with stakeholders such as customers, very importantly, and then business leaders or sometimes end users. The focus is to make sure that the project goals or project vision aligns with business objectives. In simple words, the project gets what we want to get, what we want to achieve. So it's a very high level plan. Key inputs are stakeholder input. Market research is done sometimes as to what is best, what are the best practices to do, and then business goals of the organization. Product backlog comes from product roadmap. Again, it is created by product owner, but not with customers. It's created by product owner with inputs from the team, internal stakeholders, sometimes users. Very important point to remember, product backlog is created and prioritized by the product owner only, not by the project team. You will have questions like that talking about who needs to prioritize the product backlog. It's always the product owner. Now, what is it? What is the purpose of creating it? It's a prioritized list of work items such as user stories, bugs, or enhancements. Whatever list of things that the team needs to do in the project is your product backlog, the entire list. Now, towards the end of this lesson, I have given one example where there is an example of a product roadmap backlog, product backlog, and sprint backlog, so you will be able to compare and understand how they differ from each other. User stories is a new word. We will be covering it. It's a part of agile planning section only. We will cover it in the next lesson. Now, key inputs for product backlog are product roadmap. Based on that, backlog is created, user feedback, team discussions, and requirements of the project. Now comes sprint or iteration backlog. This is the list of items that the team is going to work on in one single iteration. It comes from the product backlog. The sprint backlog is a subset of product backlog. It contains all the tasks that the team commits to completing during the sprint. So it's a shorter list created or derived from the bigger list, which is your product backlog. At the start of each sprint, during the sprint planning meeting, sprint planning is also an agile practice. Before the team starts the sprint, they get together and they do planning. Now, what is sprint planning? They look at the product backlog and then they try to based on the prioritized list of items that they need to do, they pick up items that they want to cover in that particular sprint. Tasks are not assigned by a manager. Agile teams are self organized, empowered. They use a pull mechanism as to based on their capacity and their expertise. They pull items from the product backlog. So I hope the difference is clear. What is product roadmap, product backlog, and sprint or iteration backlog? Continuing our discussion about sprint backlog, there are few more things that you need to understand. So every day we already covered the topic of daily stand up. So whenever the daily stand up is happening every day, the Scrum team looks at the sprint backlog and discusses around it. Every day the team meets in a daily Scrum to discuss progress and update sprint backlog. What is done, what is in progress, tasks move across the board, the Kanban board, from to do, in progress, and done. Any blockers that the team is facing, any struggle that they are facing, any questions that they have, the team collaborates, discusses to resolve them. Once the sprint ends, we review the completed work in sprint review meeting. So suppose 5 items were picked up by the team to create the sprint backlog. How many of them were completed? Were they all completed? If something is pending, unfinished tasks go back to product backlog for prioritization in future sprints. This section I have created for your reference to understand the difference between product roadmap, product backlog, and sprint backlog. Imagine the project is about developing a coffee shop website. So high level vision, like basic website with menu and contact info. It should have online ordering system. It should have a loyalty program, rewards and all. This is your product roadmap. Now you will elaborate this to create your product backlog. Display menu items on the website, and each point is further elaborated. It has more details of the features and requirements. And then comes sprint backlog, where we have picked like 3 items from this list that we will be doing in the current sprint. I hope this clarifies. I'll see you in the next lesson. Very important, user stories, estimation, and how agile planning is completed. We'll do all of that in the next lesson. Till then, bye bye.